In the late Cretaceous, the diversity of the dinosaurs is at its peak. The Dinosaur Provincial Park Formation in the Canadian province of Alberta houses the most ceratopsian and hadrosaur dinosaur genera known anywhere in the world. Some of these hadrosaurs are moving through the forest on a sunny afternoon. The Lambeosaurus and the Parasaurolophus are just two members of this group. These hadrosaurs chew their food through a combination of a keratinous beak and banks of teeth tightly packed together at the back of their mouth. They also have hollow, bony crests on top of their heads, these of which can be used to produce vocalizations to help communicate with one another. Each genus has their own unique language of trumpeting. Despite differences in their appearance, language and diet, the hadrosaurs still share the same water sources. The group of dinosaurs known as ceratopsians also have several genera of their group in the area. One of the smaller members is Unescoceratops, which is far smaller than its larger, more famous horned relatives. The large Styracosaurus is one of these larger relatives. They are part of the Centrosaurine group, a group of ceratopsian dinosaurs that are known for large, prominent nasal horns, or nasal bosses depending on the species. This group of dinosaurs is also known for having smaller horns around the rim of their frills. The hadrosaurs, with their keratinous beak and chewing teeth batteries, prefer low vegetation, bushes and some trees. The ceratopsians, on the other hand, prefer bushes and trees, as since their beaks don't allow them to graze low to the ground as effectively. This also affects their habitat preferences, with hadrosaurs preferring more open habitats and ceratopsians preferred more bushy, scrubby or forested habitat. The beaks of the ceratopsians are also adept at breaking apart nuts, pine cones, branches, and other forms of vegetation. However, this relatively dry vegetation can be a major fire hazard on hot days. The dry vegetation quickly catches alight, which feeds the forest fire more and more as it grows. For their own survival, the dinosaurs must flee to a safer area. An outright sprint would exhaust them before the flames reached them, however. All above the forest, the screams and dying calls of animals that are either dying, on fire, or in pain can be heard. As night comes, the flames are still burning, kilometers from where the spark first started. The flames themselves will not cross the water, however the burning embers can still start fires on the other side. Thankfully, the wetter conditions by the river have broken the fire's advance for now. The image of the forest after the flames seems bleak and harsh. The trees in the worst affected areas have been burnt down to the roots. While in some places the regrowth will be quick, in others it will take much longer. Days turn to weeks, which turn to months, and eventually the vegetation returns to this part of the forest. The ferns and the pines return from buried seeds in the less affected areas. The least affected plants simply regrow straight from the trunk or the roots. In exceptionally bad fires, the plant colonization has to begin anew from seeds and spores blown in. Eventually, the forest will grow anew. Next time, we will see the end of the Cretaceous, including the king of the dinosaurs, the Tyrannosaurus rex.